All right. Good morning, class, and welcome to week number 11. That is right, week number 11 of your 9407 class, which is your Intellectual Freedom and Its Discontents class. As always, I'm your professor, Dr. Jace K. Austin. And this is, I know I say this every week, but this really is going to be one of the shorter videos because I just don't have a lot to say. There's not a lot that I actually need to say this week because, well, quite frankly, I think, well, you don't have any assignments coming due soon. You will have we will have a sync session on the 16th. So I want to put that buzz in your ear, but we'll talk a little bit more about that next week. But what I want you all to do is just, keep working on your discussions and your readings. Also start working on that final assignment. And I've gotten some emails from some of you asking if certain topics are okay. And they all have been so far of what I've been asked. And then also get to work on the new assignment, which has just been released as of tonight. And so I am going to talk very briefly about this, but hopefully it'll only take me about 5 to 7 minutes to get through my speaking about this, especially since I spoke a little bit about it last week. And then from there, I don't really have anything else I want to talk about this week. So, the advocacy letter assignment, this is going to be your 12-point intellectual freedom project. And it is due on December the 11th. I know that's the same day that the final paper is due. Because you're getting this so late, I am giving you the rest of the semester to work on it. However, I would say that it probably should take you 5 hours at the most to complete this particular assignment. And that's only if you are getting a lot of research to really, really bolster your letter. But I think a lot of you are probably going to finish it in like an hour or two, maybe 2.5 hours. Okay. So here's what's going on. You all are going to be basically a pilot study for me so that I can figure out exactly how to deliver this assignment in the future. So in the future, unlike now, you all will not have to actually send this letter out, okay? And this letter can be addressed to a school board. It can be addressed or directed to any type of library funding agency. It can be directed to a community at large if you want to submit it as a letter of, to the editor. So you've got some options here, okay? But but you are not going to actually send the letter out, and that's going to be the difference between you all and future classes, is that I do believe I am going to have future classes actually try to have their letter either read at a city council or school board meeting or something like that, or try to publish it in the newspaper, or I'm going to have them actually send the letter out to a city council or a county commission or some sort of library funding agency, whoever the relevant stakeholder is. All right, so now that we've gotten through that, let's just run through this really quickly. You can read this prompt on your own, and then if you have any questions, you can certainly email me and ask me, or message me, or put something in the questions area of the discussion, part of the Canvas course here. So, okay, again, I know that this is due on December 11th, which is the same date as your final paper. The thing that I want you all to keep in mind with that is, yes, because you're getting it so late, you're getting the rest of the semester. But this amounts to about 4 weeks to do an assignment that I think will take you about anywhere between 2 and 5 hours. Okay. So this is not going to be very demanding. It shouldn't be very hard. You should be able to get through it in a day. And what you are going to do is you are going to Google around or find some way to identify a public intellectual freedom controversy, preferably one dealing with libraries, and then write an advocacy letter confronting the situation. You can, for instance, if you do identify a book banning controversy, you can write an advocacy letter in favor of banning the book or opposed to banning the book. Generally, as librarians, I'm hoping that you all will be opposed to banning the book, but this is intellectual freedom. So if your intellectual freedom is you want the book banned, so be it. That's your intellectual freedom. All right. So you are going to advocate for one side of the controversy. You do not have to use APA. You can do the standard letter writing thing where people say something like, according to Jane Doe, such and such and such. That actually might look cleaner even in this type of assignment. And also, if you want to, you can use footnotes and endnotes and then have a bibliography at the end. The letter should be probably about a half page to a page single spaced. I guess it can be up to 2 pages, but that gets to be very, very long. You do not actually have to send the letter. That is written there. Write the letter as if you have an audience in mind, and that audience can be the public at large or the school board, as I mentioned earlier, or whomever. Now, here's the thing, and this is how you all are going to help me with planning this out in the future. So after you write your letter, I'm going to both assess the letters to see if letters seem to be something that you all are capable of doing. I would hope so, given that you are grad students, but I don't want to necessarily assume that. But what you're going to do, I want one file. I want one file, y'all. And what you can do is after the letter, insert a page break. If you don't know how to insert a page break, you can Google, in Word, you can Google and find generally you're probably going to be able to find a video on YouTube or something that just explains to you how to insert a page break, and you can follow that step by step and you'll be just fine. But what you're going to do is you are basically going to answer a few questions for me in the, I won't call it the reflection part of the paper, but the paper where you're giving Dr. J's feedback. So there's some things that I want to know. Are you willing to undertake this type of advocacy as an LIS student where you're actually putting yourself and your name out there? Do you think writing a letter that might get published might do you harm as far as trying to find a job later? Do you think I should require the students to submit their letters for publication or to read them or to actually send them to stakeholders? If so, why? If not, why not? What do you think Dr. Jace can do with the assignment to make it better, and what other feedback do you have? I am going to use you all's feedback so that I can plan this assignment better for fall 2023 and on, and they actually will have to probably submit their letters somewhere, which is something you all do not have to do. All right. And then I have an example of an advocacy letter from my friend Kawana Bright, who is a library science professor over at East Carolina University. There is no formal rubric. However, it is a 12-point assignment, and you will be graded on these 3 points each for these prongs. 3 points for the strengths of arguments in the letter portion of your submission, 3 points for the strength and usefulness of the suggestions and feedback that you give to me, 3 points for proper English usage, and then 3 points for identifying a dilemma that fits the spirit of this assignment. If you are not sure whether your dilemma, controversy, whatever you want to call it, if you're not sure whether or not it actually fits the spirit of this assignment, you are more than welcome to email me and ask. And I do recommend that you do that so that we can save ourselves any embarrassment or anything unpleasant later on. And that is pretty much it. Okay, so if you have questions, ask. This is an experimental assignment that I hope to use how you all perform on it. I'm going to use that to improve the assignment for next semester. So that's where we're going with that, okay? Sorry about that. I clicked on the wrong tab there, but I do want to just make sure y'all know that that wasn't a hate site there. I actually am a Noahide. If you don't know what a Noahide is, you can Google that term and figure out what my religion is. But because I'm a Noahide, I have a lot of interest in Jewish stuff. So that was just a site run by some Jewish people who actually profile different public figures and other people of interest and reveal whether or not those people are actually Jewish. So, sorry that popped up on the screen, but I do want to make sure you all know that that's not anything anti-Semitic or anything like that. I'm not pulling a Kanye in here. But with that said, that totally means that, I probably need to go ahead and get some sleep. So I'm going to end it right here. We are keeping it under 10 minutes, and I hope you sped it up. I am Dr. Jace, and library advocacy has its time and its place. I will see you all next week, and if you have any questions, I'm an email away or a Canvas message away. I will see you soon.